Hello, my name is Matt Mercurio and I'm a Senior Customer Engineer with ATTO Technology. Today I will be walking you through the steps to connect your ATTO XstreamCORE 8100T with the ATTO Xtend SAN iSCSI initiator for macOS. This procedure assumes that you have already set up the 8100T as shown in the 8100T setup video. The first step in this process is to configure the NIC ports that will be connecting to the 8100T data ports. You will need at least one 10 gigabit Ethernet connection to the bridge, either directly attached to your host system or through a 10 gigabit Ethernet switch. For this demonstration, I will be using the IP address that I set up on the 8100T, which is 192.168.20.1. To set your NIC IP address, first open macOS System Settings. Then, on the left panel, select Network. On the right panel, find your network port that you need to configure and click on it. Now click the Details command button, which should open a new window. In the new window, click TCP/IP on the left panel, which will allow you to assign an IP address to the port. By default, macOS has DHCP enabled on network ports, so you need to pull down the Configure IPv4 option and select Manual. Now you should be able to manually assign an IP address and subnet mask to the port. In this example, I set the IP address to 192.168.20.11 and the subnet mask to 255.255.255.0. Before we click OK, we also suggest enabling jumbo frames on the network port. For best performance using iSCSI over TCP, ATTO Technology recommends that ports transmitting iSCSI traffic should have jumbo frames enabled. This is the default setting for both data ports on the 8100T. Therefore, we want to verify that the NIC port is also set up with jumbo frames enabled. On the left panel, select Hardware. Then, under the MTU option, pull down the menu and select Jumbo. Now you can click OK to save your IP and jumbo frame settings. At this point, your connection should be completely set up. We can confirm a connection using the ping command in a terminal window to confirm the connection. Now that we have confirmed the connection between the host and the 8100T, we can discover and log into the iSCSI targets. In the next steps, we will be covering basic discovery and login using ATTO Xtend SAN. If you plan to use CHAP for discovery and/or target login, refer to the 8100T installation and operation manual. Open ATTO Xtend SAN from the Application folder in macOS. On the left panel, you should see your macOS hostname. Highlight this. Then, on the right panel, click the Discover Targets tab. Now click the Discover by DNS/IP tab. Type in the IP address of the 8100T data port that you are connecting to, then click Finish. If you have a good connection between the host and the 8100T, then you should see 8100T targets appear in the central panel. Highlight the targets that you want to configure, then click Add. You should see the targets appear on the left panel after adding them. Now you need to configure each target. On the left panel, highlight the target that you want to configure. Then, on the Setup tab, check the box labeled Visible. And if you would like the target to be connected after a system reboot, check the Auto Login box. Then click the Save Command button. If necessary, you can modify iSCSI login parameters here and configure iSCSI chat here. For most installations, the default parameters are recommended unless otherwise recommended by ATTO support. On the Status tab, highlight the target and then click the Login Command button to log into your target. Your target should now appear on the Luns tab of the Xtend SAN target. You should now be able to install and configure your tape backup software to use the attached tape drive and/or library.